Welcome to Satsang. What is search? What I am is always here. It's already here. It's ever here. There is just a confusion to be something which goes on changing and which moves. So in that way there is some expression. Let's peel the onion, remove layers after layers while giving up the mind, the thoughts. In fact, you are already at the center of the onion where there is nothing. It's only the play of its own creation which creates apparent layers, which is the creation, the mind, its own creation. So the confusion is that you think you are landing at a certain layer, an identification, and then you hear it's not this, it's not that, so you may give up. But in fact, if you know you are already that, sometimes it will be the mind is directly quiet, sometimes you will see movements, it doesn't mean anything, it's just the mind. The mind plays. Not giving power to the mind, then everything which rises is given up naturally. So when someone will see that, it can be seen now. When you admit in your mind that it will never know it, it will never feel it, it will never, what do I say generally, sense it. So the mind surrenders. I cannot figure it out. And that may give space, a split second to what is. What is. So if there is any unclarity or anything you still feel is too much, it's better to express it. So what? Happy to be quiet? Understand? Yes, please. That someone. Oh, you will have the mic.
I just want to share this, give this to you.
Yeah. You want to read it?
I just want to give this to you.
Okay, thank you.
Put it away.
I cannot move here. It's like
I just love so much of you and I 20 years
oh,
ago.
when 20 years ago. Oh, we are
just
lovely.
love it.
20 years ago. I was still Mira. In which country?
In Puchati.
In Pulja.
And I just love it.
Yeah, sure. And what about those 20 years? Thank you. What made you ask for the photo? What made you um, have this face? Is it still here?
I think so, except for the other day.
Except for the other day.
Driving from Lisbon to here. Getting lost with the IA. It stressed us so.
But we are all lost with our life, you know. Don't worry. The life is to be lost. But it doesn't mean you lost yourself.
I felt it that day. I felt it.
It was a passing
It
thought.
once we got here.
Okay.
But we
If you start to think, surely there will be something wrong. You see, that's why there is a wise advice to be vigilant up to the last breath. Means you cannot help, you are still alive in this body, so life will take you here and there, sure. But if you have seen how precious it has been to just be what you ever have been, what you are, you will dedicate here and there some moments not to be in your mind. Yeah, naturally. It's your birthright to free yourself from this time and space, just even for a split second. Yeah. And that split second, once the mind reappears, it gives a big relief. A big relief. Life continues. But you will not search who you are. You may search for a coffee or for something else, but it's a big relief. Yes. Ah, no, it was a fly. Okay. That's life.
Yes. Good morning, Mira. Quite intimidated, but my question is, I go very often through like anxiety, fear,
Yeah.
even panic, and different kind of
Yeah.
trouble like that, and still wonder which attitude to. See, I did realize this morning when I drove up to
Yeah.
there that the first the first point quite often is to call the mind, or the mind is there straight for the rescue, for proposing a solution. Just realize that the mind cannot help really in this situation, but I'm still very, very confused when I'm facing such a
Yeah.
situation. This
Yeah.
happen very often.
Yeah. First of all, there is a temporary solution, which will be no mind. The mind doesn't have a solution, sure. Now, if you leave space to no mind, that's already a bit better. But it's temporary. It's a state of no mind. You know, I think the best is to know the fear, the anxiety, according to your own life, belongs to what? Belongs to what in you? To your emotions, to senses, to concepts you have which fight because they are opposites. So once you locate there to whom it belongs, you could see that you can describe all that. You can even describe this body. You can describe everything of your appearance. So why don't you, for just a moment, keep quiet where you already are, from where you see all this, but you are hypnotized by all this. That's the problem. Hypnotized because you think that the enlightenment will be expressed in the life. What will be expressed in the life is a big relief not to search anymore. The rest continues according to your own luggage at birth. So, is this clear?
Not fully clear.
So tell me what's not clear.
No, just thinking that this morning again when I was driving, that those situations could be welcome as a gift as well, or does one of the attitude could be to be curious about what's happening now, and
Just now?
During like anxiety or
but you have
panic
been
or
curious myriads of years. You've been curious. That is the quality of the mind, to be curious, to know and to be able to name and to find solutions and all that. But here is absolutely hopeless in this search of who am I. It may be very helpful for who I look like and I would like to transform myself or whatever. But this, then you speak of the person. When you ask the question, who am I, at least in Satsang, it is an ontologic question. It is about being. Being. not about the life which is all becomings. I became born, I became this, that, I become dead, after all. So that may not change your life to know who you are. But you know who you are, not in terms of knowledge. You are, as a fact. Some said, I am, I am. You know? You know or not?
Yes.
Ah. So allow your person to disappear there, here and there. In your life, you are anxious, you may have some processes in telling, okay, I speak about the person, but who am I? And then you may keep quiet there. You do it again and again, and the fact will be so much a fact that it will pass, you see. Those pains, those anxiety, anyway, if they appear, they have a span of life, they will pass. But to feed them, because there is something you will find there, that's not the way. So let them pass, even if it looks like a bit a long period, let them pass. Remember, after all, who you are, so that everything is naturally become relative. You know, all I speak about, it is this creation. It's not who I am only. The creation is not who I am only. My real nature is undefining forever. So you can always go to people who can heal your person a bit more so that you are not so much taken by it, but know that this is another direction. It is about the life. So can you not confuse who you are for what you experience?
Is that a question you ask me? Or?
Yeah, why not? It's a good question.
So just again, in such a situation, is quite a lot of confusion and it's difficult.
In
I just have to
situations,
wait
yeah.
until that passes away. And
You wait, but you can also give a moment to yourself. I think, you see, if you are a seeker of what is in fact, your life becomes like, it's a life of a seeker. And then, of course, the seeker has no more its reality as we thought in the beginning. So the seeker disappears, we can say that. And life continues in the same way. Yet, here we speak in paradox, no? In the same way and not in the same way. Nobody can say better than paradoxes sentences. So, what is your urgency? To fix the person being less anxious, or to honor more what you are. And it doesn't mean you cannot do both together if it is really needed in your life. But don't let the work on the person be an obstacle. Because you anyway are, if you work or not, if you transform your person or not, you are. Be maybe a bit more vigilant. As you wish, of course, I don't impose anything. It's just, yeah.
Thank you.
I wish you the best. The problem is, you see, when someone is troubled by their life, immediately there is a kind of concept, say, oh, it means I lost myself. I am not myself if I am busy, troubled in this life. That concept has to go. Life appears as it appears in a dual way. That will not change. And still, what to say, you are. Those words, freedom, enlightenment, realization of the self, it doesn't apply to the psychology, it doesn't apply to someone. It's just tries, it's a pointing out for someone who searches that maybe the separation is that he lands somewhere, he puts himself somewhere. So it's to allow to take the risk or to have this need to give up or to let or to see, oh, I put myself here, so of course I feel I have a sense of separation. The mind will create that. You are ever in the most intimate, let's say, place, which is no place, the most intimate, this is what you are, and from there life presents itself and disappears. Good, yeah. You prepared at the perfect page.
No, there's this well-known mantra from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It says, Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. there will only from a second thing fear arises. And it comes in the as a part of a story, a sort of a story. Like like if what I am had a voice.
Uh-huh.
And so it says, Saha bibhet tasmat ekaki bibheti. That one, he was afraid. That's why every time one is alone, he fears. Then the Upanishad says, Sahaha ayam iksham chakre. That one thought, he investigated. What did he investigate? Yat anyat nasti. There's nothing else. There's nothing else different from me. Kasmat nu bibheti iti. So how can I be afraid? Tataha eva asya bhayam vihaya. That's why from him fear left him. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. Only from a second fear arises.
Yeah, and fear disappears.
And fear disappears.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Elsewhere in Taittiriya it's also said, Yadudaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. If only a slightest difference one makes, for him fear is there.
Sure. But you see, it can still show up. Yet, if you know the nature of it, if you know this, then what to do? I mean, what to do? The fear which appears will disappear, but the thing is that time, it may not disappear at once. Because you know...
Because I think that's the thing. The fear will be seen in the person.
Sure.
So there's no more seeing the person as different from whatever arises.
Mm-hmm. No, sure.
So no separation anymore.
Sure.
So fear can appear.
Yeah. But you really need an enlightened one who knows the scriptures to clarify, you know?
Yes, of course.
Because otherwise, and it's the same for everything. Everything which is uttered can be taken by the mind as a concept. Everything, isn't it? It's amazing.
Shankara says, what is it? Mundakabhashyam. He says, Swatantriyena na kuryat shastrajnaha api. Even if you are someone who knows Sanskrit and everything, Swatantriyena, by yourself, never study.
I believe that. At least you laugh.
Two answers for the price of what?
Yeah.
Also, it applies here.
Uh-huh.
If you make the slightest difference between the answers,
Yeah.
Bhayam bhavati, fear will be there.
The thing is like there is a. We start like this. We are. Oh, I have to fill it. A seeker means a glass full of water or mud, whatever. Okay. And I'm searching, all this, I stir up, yeah, not this, not that. It's very complicated. In the end, because you are serious, you have fire, well, I don't want to drink the whole water, but the glass is empty. Oof, you have a moment of relief, sometimes moments of relief. But is there a glass? You see? That glass has not been questioned. The I am someone. Maybe it's an I which became very yogic, very detached, very desireless, whatever, very unconceptual. Still, this has not been questioned. So that's questioned in a split second. And the mirage may come back, will come back generally. It will be very rare it doesn't come back if this body doesn't die. But then you can. What is acquired, you see, it's not a state, but you can never confuse yourself, even if sometimes you are totally taken and you drink even this water and all that. But there is something somewhere which makes you quiet. A search will not rise again about what is. I mean, I maybe describe very badly, and any description is bad anyway. That explains, you see, why seekers who have been 25 years, 30 years in Satsang, they are quite empty. Well, if if they are too much engaged in the water, they may lose themselves for a long time, and suddenly they may wake up and all. But they didn't question the glass. The root, this impulse of rising, which is the nature of what is also. So that's very important. Now, to be freed in a split second may be done in different ways. Simply the mind has to be rooted out as reality. And the mind contains I and the world. The glass and its contents. Let it be emptiness. Yeah.
Then how to discern if it's emptiness or if the eye
You
is
come
not
to
there?
Satsang. It will become gross, like if there is anything left, too much. So that question itself is too much. Why do you listen to that question? It has still some power.
No, you're right.
Okay.
No.
That's called split second. No questions? Oh, you don't dare. You can give.
Maybe a lot of questions, maybe no question. I feel like any question that arises,
Yeah.
that the right answer is to be quiet.
Yeah.
I also listen to suggestions to find out who is asking, find out who is witnessing life, and I feel like I am always searching for someone behind my eyes or inside my head. Um, the I is not the ultimate answer, but I'm always looking for someone behind the I.
Yeah, okay. But you know, you already are behind everything, or prior everything. That's what is meant by I am. I am that. So know that this play to think, there is always, it's the mind which suggests you something, as some kind of perfume, something, but don't listen to it now. You are at the right spot. Don't listen to your mind. And when you listen to your mind, it's for the world, for this. Clear?
Yeah, the mind is still trying to figure
No,
it out.
but you see, it's the mind. So don't touch it. Don't try to transform. You should not appear this way. You just don't touch it.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's better face. Yeah. it's you could be struck by the fact that whatever can be uttered or described, it's the mind. It's the mind. So in that way, that's why Papaji was telling, keep quiet. Keep quiet from where you always are. And if you are not quiet, finally you know it. It's the mind. Mind is not quiet. Life may not be quiet. So, is there any trouble again? Doesn't look, you don't. But truly to be attached to one concept is enough to swallow you in time and space. Not sure. So you cannot ask the mind to be detached. When there was this question of desirelessness or detachment, it's just trying to describe what is, from where you can say, oh, this is the world, this is the mind. Nothing ever happened. But once it is uttered, don't worry, it's the mind. So it becomes an aspect of it. So one, just shut up. About it. Good. Something to say? Nothing? But you could still say something. What you would say?
I don't know if anything comes to mind.
If anything comes
To mind.
to mind. Ah, yeah, so don't disturb it, it's all right. It will come, don't worry.
Yes.
But then you know it's the mind.
Yes.
I am in my mind. So, see you soon. Thank you very much.